Alright, so this is a Canon FS30. Probably read it better from that angle there. And basically it was like a $250 camera back in like 2012. And I haven't used it since. So I've been kind of curious, what goes into actually making these things, right? Should be kind of interesting. Got the battery and the memory card in back. I'm probably going to take that out just to make sure I don't run into anything weird. I have no idea what's on this memory card. Kind of nervous about what might be on there. Yeah, from high school. So, let's find out. Take this off just to make it a bit easier to work with. You can do it. Alright, let's see if I can get this bottom part off anymore. Okay, so that's under that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice. I think I bent that a little bit. That's right, though. Alright. Cool. Oh, okay. So that's the plate for the tripod. Oh, what? Whoa. Super sweet. Oh my god, that's insane looking. Alright, this is like our first big piece. Let's talk about some of these. Alright, interesting plastic molding. Really like this a lot. Structurally, like pretty good. There's actually, it's super hard to see if there's actually writing in here. Don't know exactly where my focus is on this camera right now. There's actually a ton of writing in here. You can probably see the shadows a little bit. Yeah, it's just a molded part. Nothing too crazy. There's no like cavities. It's literally just like the parting line is along here, and it basically just gets pressed one way, pressed another way, then they pull it out. So really nothing crazy going on here. Pretty straightforward. Pretty interesting. This one also sort of same story. One thing that kind of concerns me in their molding is these angles. So these are basically like 90-degree angles. So when they're molding it and the draw direction is going through here, while pulling across here, there's sort of the possibility that this plastic will actually separate from each other and then could actually destroy the piece. Pretty cool though. And then there's also some paint finish on here, probably a powder coat applied, and there's also some text that's applied. Just feeling it, there's a different surface there. So they're putting this on after probably like an etch or a screen printing or something like that, maybe pad printing. Since on the surface, I'm kind of I'd imagine like a pad printing or something like that. This basically the same story. Pretty small assembly with a few parts, nothing crazy, a few stickers applied. Nothing too much going on there. But this is where we're going to have fun. This is nuts though. So just pop right out. What do we get? Nice. Okay, these are the parts I like to see. That is beautiful. So nice sheet metal part. Really, really, really poor utilization, from what I can tell. I would guess that this is probably done on like a progressive die or something like that. Basically just going through stations, doing punch, bend, stuff like that. Very, very interesting angles on these. So very well done on the bend break. Got some forms over here as well. I'm kind of curious about the proximity to these because these are very close to one another. But I mean, if you're making small parts like this, you're definitely going to take the time to make sure you engineer the right tools to get it done right. Very, very interesting though. I have not seen many parts like this, or at least like held them in my hand. I've obviously seen like a bunch of CAD files and pictures of stuff, but never would think that something like this would actually be in an everyday item like a camera. But very cool, honestly. This is pretty impressive, to be completely honest. I love it. I think this part is amazing. It's just so simple, but obviously very, very hard to execute, and a lot of planning and engineering goes into that. So, good for them. Jeez. Alright. Jeez, how do I get this loose? I don't think I do. It's kind of like the hard part, right? Like, I don't think this is actually going to separate from that. Unless I can figure out how this connects to that. Oh, I see it. There's a few screws behind there. I need to get this plate off. Very cool. I'm not going to take all that out because it just seems like unnecessary. Got some lights over there. Just LEDs. Basically just lighting a piece of plastic, and then that's... So, back of this has like a mode. You can take cameras, pictures, and then you can do both. So that's pretty interesting, right? So you take a look at the back, and obviously this PCB is basically getting that. And then it's also taking some input from these buttons up here. And then if you look really closely, there is a spring right here. And that's what's sort of giving it its like click feel. So when I turn this, you probably won't be able to see it too well, but it's basically like clicking really lightly. And that spring is oscillating. How close can I get it? Yeah, there we go. See that? And then when I click the modes, I'm trying to do it really slowly so you can see it. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Jeez. Alright, now I get to figure out how to fix this again. I'm pretty sure there's a broken mechanism in there because every time I try to like go past a certain point, it just kind of like skips. Cool. Also, while we're here, I can talk about the molding. That was a little metal piece here. The molding of this is very similar to the others. Nothing really in here that's like super weird, but there definitely is. Should have been looking. So in terms of the molding here, there's nothing too crazy. The one thing I did notice is that there definitely is a cavity that comes across and presses in here. So there's sort of like a cup little matrix in there. So basically they're putting a cavity in there, and then they're basically just pulling it apart, and then that cavity comes out. So nothing too crazy, but pretty cool. I'm not going to take this full assembly apart. It just seems unnecessary, to be completely honest. So yeah, okay. That's that. There we go. Got that whole middle part off. So, oh my god, is that a capacitor? Is that not a capacitor? I don't remember. This is a cool little part. Basically this one part in the middle here, this black plastic piece, that's all one piece. So that's nice and molded, just one simple draw direction, nothing too crazy, not bad, pretty easy. And then there's a few metal pieces that are screwed together here. So you have one over here. This one is actually a continuation. Wait a minute. Yeah. So this part and this part are the same. And then you have this part and this part, which are the same. And then you have a small one over here. So basically that's holding on. This is basically the entire battery thing. This is pulling all of the charge off. And then this is the power strip running through. And this is some of the board. And this is also to charge it as well. So we have our charging port connected here. This is basically feeding information, whether it's being charged, how charged it is, and just providing all that. And then additionally, we actually have what yeah, this is the charging. This is the USB port. So this is what's pulling all the media. This is the actual charging port here. So I was wrong about that. USB for media, charging. So basically all your wired connections are basically just through this one PCB. Pretty cool how they're all pretty much connected and like a nice form factor. Which leaves us with just this right now. I want to get to the screen really, really badly. And also to the lens as well. I think the lenses are probably cool as hell. I think they're probably the coolest invention ever. Okay, let's see what else we can get out of this. See if I can get the screw out. I think if I get that, I can at least show everyone what's going on. It's Loctite. Alright. Alright, so this is the lens assembly. Basically, it's just getting electric signal to move the lens in and out. So basically this entire thing is basically just the focal length of that. It's probably cut down to about half of it just based off what I can tell. Probably about that long. Unfortunately, there's like too much Loctite and just too difficult to get at these angles. Just don't have tools for it, unfortunately. Did a number to the lens right there, but I'll be able to clean that off when I get a chance. But yeah, kind of a bummer. I was really hoping I'd be able to do a bit more with this, but that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.